You're Near the Wild with Matt Becker and John Norris, recorded in Anchorage, Alaska.
Hi, this is Doug Stanhope. If you would please hold while we wait for Ggreg Chaille to join the Near the Wild podcast with Matt Becker and John Norris. He's a bit delayed. And now we join the podcast already in progress.
Fire it up and put it in the magazine. But also, they, for video content, they're adding video content and stuff.
All right.
And so I'm going to put you in touch with him. I already talked to him about you, and I said he's amazing, everything else. So it's a really good opportunity. The magazine.
What's the name of the magazine?
I don't know yet. I mean, he told me, and I looked at it and everything, but I don't know it because, well, I just went with his inside links so I could see content because he's done magazine articles and stuff. Hang on, I'll get it for you.
All right.
But yeah, I know it's a really good opportunity, and they're going crazy. He goes, we're about to hire a full-time video editor. That's how much video we're doing.
Oh, wow.
Is John looking for a job?
I'm always looking for a job.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a good opportunity. It's with Gort out of New York, and I got to find the magazine now for him, but it's great. Hey, is that Ggreg Chaille?
It's Ggreg Chaille. I'm here, right here in Bisbee.
Ggreg Chaille.
Just making a few adjustments to the levels because I'm on the fly, trying to get back some normalcy. All right, I think that'll work.
Yeah.
I can kind of back off the mic a little bit. So you're unemployed, John?
Oh no, I've got too many jobs, but
Yeah, I'm trying to get him one. I'm trying to get him one good one.
I always have the fear that I'm going to be fired, so I like to have a lot of jobs going at the same time.
It's not it's a normal fear. I didn't realize that, but I've been reading about the Depression lately just to see what people did to make money because some people made a fortune during the Depression.
You mean you're worried? You're reading about the Depression, meaning the incidents of the Depression back in the 30s, not the Depression like some people
Yeah,
have.
I want to see
the AIDS or something.
No,
Not
not some tax funded sad pills. I'm talking about actually what happens when they cut all those programs.
Yeah.
What? So how did people get rich during the Depression? Can we do this now still?
Well, there's always people who bet.
Came from?
There's always people who bet against the going the trends, and it's that movie. It's that movie that just came out. The Big Short.
Movie.
Yeah, I mean, and what's really interesting, I just heard this today.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Okay.
Are we good?
It feels like there's a delay.
Yeah, there's a little bit. Sounds like.
Okay, you want me to disconnect and call back in, or is this
You're getting the
is this
5-second
big
delay?
Or is this big banking trying to get me to shut up talking about the Big Short?
Yeah. Cut his Wi-Fi.
I think banks are good. Did that sound all right?
That came right through.
Wish they would charge me more.
I have the most reasonable rate they charge me for my savings account.
Do you remember when they used to give you perks for actually using the ATM machine?
Yeah.
Okay, we gotta kill this delay.
I mean, that was a thing.
I'm gonna call back in.
Yep.
All right, I'll be right back.
Okay. Did you record if John told? Did he just come over?
He just came over. I didn't end up recording with him. He was willing to, but I just we had all the people in the house and stuff, and then I got fucked up. I couldn't record.
That's fair.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, so it was interesting. No, he was great. He was fucking that open mic. He hosted it.
Yeah.
It was fire, dude. It was so funny.
You're talking about when John Toll was there last week. He did like on Sunday nights. He hosted the open mic.
Yeah, and he did such an amazing job. It was a good lesson for everyone who's ever hosted anything.
Like
he
what?
had that room on fire. It was packed all the way to the back. And it was a lot of fun. I mean, I sat there watching it, and everybody had a great set. And the reason they had a great set is they came up to a completely fired up room, and they were willing to go, I'll work with you. You didn't have a premise or a joke, but next.
I think the promise that it's going to be a short open mic set is enough to keep people involved.
Yeah, but that was it. I said if you bring them up flat and then they suck, then the crowd will start going, I'm going to go smoke or do something.
Yeah,
These people waited till the end to go smoke.
So what was he doing?
Really cool.
Specifically?
It was just his energy level. He went up and did big chunks of, his storytelling type of delivery.
Mm-hmm.
And so he'd pull you in with that. And then he'd go, okay, let's get this next guy up here. and he got everybody involved in crowd rap where he had all the guys, you know, I'm going to get you laid. What's your name? Eric. Okay. And then and he goes, is there anybody in the room you like? And he goes, no. And he goes, all right, this might be harder than I thought. It was that kind of thing where everybody was like in on it.
It's interesting. It's more than just tacking up a piece of blank paper with numbered 1 to 10 for the open mic set. I mean, you have to put some thought to it, and you have to have someone who's going to be willing to go up there and do that. Chili Dog, our friend Chili Dog in Kirkland, Washington, his open mics, he will get a feature act or someone working up to be the feature act at the club. He'll have them host it. So you actually have someone who is familiar with material and being on stage and done a ton of open mics. He'll host it, and then he'll have 2 guys that are feature acts that are paid to actually do time in between, like measured out. So you're never sitting down through more than 2 like brand new open micers without it being buffered with some people who have done had a lot of experience to feature acts. You know what I mean? So he's kind of let it crafted a show more than just an open mic.
Yeah, I think it's really good to have the person hosting who can like bring the audience like back around when it is completely off the rails. Because otherwise, like otherwise you have like two not very good sets in a row, and then you're just like, well, this ship is sinking.
Yo, that's the let's go smoke, I think I smell pizza. Let's go in another room.
Yeah, I call it where they if you allow them to all make eye contact, somebody goes, we should go play pool.
Yeah.
You know, and it was amazing to watch because he just literally held them on a Sunday night, and it was nice out too. You know, nice enough.
That's right. You guys
if we had rain.
You're running into that in the bar industry in Anchorage, that you're competing with the solar system.
Yeah, and it's interesting.
I was gonna say, I wish I had John Toll here right now to get the energy level up.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
guys, we're bringing it back around.
All right, here we go. Ready? Let's do
it. I also had John Toll worked with me to make a 24-hour short film this weekend. So that was fun.
Oh, great.
So he's also game to do that. There was the 24-hour film royale was this last weekend. And so we hung out for the day, and we shot a bunch of stuff in the bar with like the pinball machines. But then at like 8 o'clock, like after, so then we had to open, cause I opened for him that night too at the bar. And I just decided that it was all garbage, and we did something else starting at like 11 p.m.
You scrapped
got a
the
very,
idea?
very short. Yeah. I mean, I have all the footage, so I might do something with it. And John Toll was really funny. But just my idea was not funny. So
no, but that's a healthy way to do it. You look at it and go, you know what? It didn't work. And a lot of people won't do that.
So, but we did a smaller idea that was funny, and I think it turned out pretty good. And I'll share it on Saturday after the event, after I collect my trophy for being the best filmmaker ever.
That is amazing. That's great. Are you going to do a video will, a living will?
Basically.
I'm going to leave this award to my dog.
I'm not good at paperwork, so everything I do it in video form.
Yeah, I think that's great when they do those wills where they record it, because you can sit and stare at them. I'm going to do mine in 3D. It's going to be fucking
If you're watching this, I'm sadly passed.
Yes,
well,
but
you can't like dodge tone in a video recording. Whereas if a lawyer is a stuffy old lawyer is reading the will, or like their last will and testament, or a message to the family after I've gone, you could at least go, well, it's just the way he was reading it, you know. But in a video thing, you get really, you get the eye roll or the you know the vitriol that person really wanted to leave for you. That's a lasting memory. Not speaking from recent history, gentlemen. My mom didn't leave a video.
I think. So you're saying is that when somebody can be like, so I think when the lawyer said to my lazy good-for-nothing cousin Chauncey, I think it was just the way he read it.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, you know.
Intention.
Yeah, he had no. It was the inflections. It threw it off. It's not right.
To my cocksucker son Brent.
Hey, wouldn't it be great? You leave a bottle of champagne with like cyanide in it. I'd like you all to do a toast with me one last time. Go to hell, you piece of shit. They're all foaming at the mouth.
Note that, John. put that down. Yeah, keep track of that.
Actually, that's my next business that I'm going to start. I'm going to start doing video wills. I think they're coming back in fashion.
Yeah, do them.
I think it's great.
Do them with a funny spin on them. Leave them laughing, right? And wanting more.
I think so. One big
That's
laugh.
a weird one. They get a hold of you through an app, and it says, "Do you want push notifications?"
I'm going to start a business called. It's going to be the last laugh. That's the name of my business, the last laugh, and it's funny video wills.
Yeah, have the last laugh. That is good.
That's great.
So I can sign you guys up. You guys,
I'm in.
Sure, I just know not to drink anything at Becker's wake.
Is it going to be green screen?
Oh, it could be green screen.
Oh, it should absolutely be.
I'm
green
doing it
screen.
from
It's $5,000. I'm going to need the money up front. I don't want to wait for a check, so I'm going to need. How
about we just put it in the will? I pay you when I die. Is that cool?
You seem pretty healthy. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, it seems like you're doing a lot of work for free.
That's a great idea. It really is. It is a great idea, though.
Yeah, I like it.
If we can get Medicare to pay for it.
I'm writing that down.
I learned anything from Prince. We learned leave a will.
Didn't he? He left one.
I'm super bummed. I'm sure he had a will, but I just watched a thing. I don't know, some Facebook video that I didn't turn the sound on for. But apparently Prince has a bunch of recorded music. He recorded 2 songs a day
forever
in his home studio forever. So he has apparently he has the Prince music vault, which is just full of thousands and thousands of tracks that they're not sure are ever going to get released because he didn't.
I'm not sure, John. This is the first time that we have all been on the podcast since the death of Prince, and we all started. One of the first podcasts we did. We all realized in telling stories in the round like this that we had all enjoyed and had all been to a Prince concert, which I don't know 2 other friends of mine who have been to a Prince concert and would admit it. Because it might have seen it as being
and I don't
feminine.
I don't even go to concerts. I don't like concerts.
Yeah.
But I've been to a Prince concert and it was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I had the best experience ever. And so, I had a Post-it note, and this is so bad, but last week we had a great podcast. We've been in and out with all the personal things going on. And I went, do I really end it with this? Because I had a Post-it note that said Prince ? And what the point was going to be was Prince made an emergency landing and had the flu. And I was going to end with, I'm just going to leave it at this. Every time an artist has the flu, they're usually dead a week later.
Yeah.
And I went, that's the way to end the podcast. So I didn't say it. And I was like, the Post-it note's still stuck right here. And I go, I'm glad I didn't. But at the same time, it was right there.
Oh, you want the credit.
And I only said it because so many artists have. And I only base it on the fact that so many artists, every time they get the goddamn flu, these people have a ton of money. It seems like they're dead, but it turns out his is probably drug related, but still.
There was the Percocet flu.
They call it the flu, but I didn't realize it's just drug addiction is what the flu is now.
Is that what I have every year?
Listen, when
it's
you
like
hear
drunk driving called reckless driving.
When you hear flu or you hear dehydration, those are code words.
Yeah.
Dehydration, especially.
Yeah,
how much fucking
opiate.
water is floating around everywhere? And I mean, it used to be that if you had to drink from a hose bib or from a drinking fountain because there were more drinking fountains around. Now there's water everywhere, especially for artists. They're backstage where there's someone who's just making sure that there's always enough cold and warm water for the artists that are performing that night. So when you hear dehydration or flu, that's code for we don't know what to put in the blank when why are you asking for an emergency landing? You got to put something. Fact is that he was unresponsive, which means when my dad had a stroke, that's what they wrote in the blank. Unresponsive when we arrived. So
But he was also a very quiet artist, so maybe he just wasn't talking.
maybe he was being very contemplative at the moment. Maybe he was writing the new Purple Rain and you ruined it.
This is his process.
Yeah, that was it.
he goes into a coma, and then when he wakes up, boom,
Gold
hit records.
Purple gold.
Yeah, Michael Jackson was working on his next album the same way.
Hey, did Michael Jackson and Prince, did they have like an ongoing outward feud, or was it just a professional thing where they always tried to one up each other?
I don't know.
Yeah, I think there was a feud. I never really read too much about it.
If it exists, I want it. I want to know all about
No,
this.
I love that when there's rap battles and they're using the top 10 Billboard songs to slam each other, to burn. But I don't know that I ever heard that. And then, when someone dies, there's tons of stories floating around and plenty of people trying to get credit for being their best friend or whatever. But I don't remember ever hearing that they were feuding, other than maybe it being manufactured by the publicist to spur record sales.
So, well, according to Will.i.am from the Black Eyed Peas,
yeah,
he told a story on the Ellen Show about Prince and Michael Jackson not getting along, and I don't want to read the whole thing, but it's something about Prince playing the bass in Michael Jackson's face. Michael was outraged and then started going on. Prince has always been a meanie. He's just a big meanie. He's always been not nice to me. So that sounds like a legit story. He's got the voice right, at least.
See, that's the thing.
Yeah, but this is a guy who cut off his nose to spite his face.
Yeah, Prince could play. That's the thing, is he could play just about everything. Anything I've seen him pick up, he was fucking awesome at. And I don't think Michael Jackson, there's audio floating around where he would do demos, but he would do all of the instruments with his mouth. He wouldn't pick up a guitar and play a lick and then loop it and then sing over it. He would do a vocal track of what the guitar would be doing, what the drum would do, what the saxophone would do. And then he would turn that in. And that in itself is genius. It sounds amazing, but maybe there was like a little, performance, jealousy there. Because Prince could play just about anything.
Greg, it's like like you're reading the same. It's like you're reading the same hiphopearly.com news story I am right now.
Oh wow!
Because he does say everybody says Prince is a great legendary Renaissance man, and I'm just a song and dance man. But I wrote Billie Jean. I'm a songwriter too. So
yeah, but he wrote Purple Rain. I mean,
no. But the other thing was when you look at the artists, I'm sorry, I've never been fascinated by Michael Jackson. He's like a comedian that you go, oh, I'm familiar with him, but he did all his work in this one period, and then he lived off the fact he did it. I mean, Sting didn't just write Synchronicity.
Yeah, so Michael Jackson is the Larry the Cable Guy of pop music?
No, I've always said it. I go, show me more than the 5 songs you know. And then they go, oh, here's this one. I go, yeah, it's a piece of shit.
Get her to number 1.
There's a lot of great Michael Jackson songs. And if you, the documentary that came out about his last tour right before he died, I forgot what it's called. But there's a full length documentary about it.
I Need the Money.
And that's probably what it's called. But it shows him like arranging the music for the shows, and you could tell that he was like heavily involved in like making it perfect.
No, John, let me stop you for a second. I want to hear the end of this, but you're talking about the video where he does not sing, and he dances, but he's saving his voice. So all the musicians are doing their parts. All the singers are doing their parts. All the dancers are doing their parts. Michael is dancing in a rehearsal, but he's not singing. He's just moving his head like he would do if he was singing, because he's saving his voice. Is that what you're talking about?
Right. But there's another part in that. I think that's in the same documentary, but there's another part where he is going through each instrument with the musicians who are playing to make sure everything's perfect and giving them like small adjustments.
Yeah. And he did that because he's afraid Prince was going to watch the documentary.
Probably, because Prince would have played everything himself.
I'm not taking away from the fact that Michael Jackson can vocalize and like have that in his head of what he wants it to sound like. I mean, isn't that what Bach did? He was going deaf, but he could still write down. He could visually see in his head. He would visualize what the notes were supposed to be for each part, and he would notate that. In musical notation, he would write those parts for the piece, and he couldn't even hear.
Well, do you remember
Bach,
when
Michael
Jackson?
Beethoven.
You remember when Michael Jackson did all his blues stuff, and when he did all that alternative rap stuff, and he never did that. He just did pop music. That's right. I forgot.
And you know what? He killed it with that pop music. Oh, Becker, I dare you to listen to Man in the Mirror and not cry.
I dare you to realize he took a drug basically that they believe for the movie Flatliners. And that's how creative he was.
The Kevin Bacon vehicle? Flatliners?
Yeah. 7 degrees of separation. He had a 2-day flu too.
Yeah.
He was murdered. Murdered by his doctor who was making a fortune off him.
Well, I think it was, I mean, I don't know what's going to happen. I mean, come on. It was obviously drugs. And, I mean, it would be an anomaly if he just passed out in an elevator and died, being as rich and, having done as much as he has. It's a rough life, man.
No, I know. And the thing is, you don't realize he really was very private. And that's it. So they gave him, according to the story, they gave him a hot shot to basically get his heart going again because he has ODing.
Is that the thing that Eric Stoltz and Vinnie Barbarino did in Pulp Fiction?
Yeah, basically it is. Yeah, no, it's to get your heart going. He was dying. Yeah. And so they got him going. And did you read the story that they asked the clinic? They said, we really like to keep you 24 hours or whatever.
Yeah.
And they go, as long as he gets a private room. They go, we don't have that. For Prince, he goes, I'll buy how about we buy the hospital?
What was King George in the fucking hospital? They couldn't give the Prince a room? Give me a fucking break.
They just didn't have room. That's just Obamacare killed goddamn Prince. It used to be money talked. Now everybody has insurance and Prince couldn't get his own room.
Jesus.
So he left. But then they did the same thing they did with Kurt Cobain. They take him home, and then I know, he probably said, I don't want anybody here. Get the fuck out.
Yeah.
And he was home by himself. And they went, Prince wants to be alone. I go, you just started his fucking heart. Maybe, get one of the girls that used to work with him. Like, get Appaloosa or Alopecia. Get somebody in there with him.
Get Alopecia in there with him.
Becker, are you saying, if I followed you correctly, are you saying Courtney Love killed Prince?
I think if you do the math, we have 7 degrees of desperation here.
Oh, I mean, this is a mystery it's going to take years to unravel it completely.
No, it's not. We're going to find out right when the drug tox comes back, the toxicology report comes back, we're going to see that he was hopped full of prescription drugs that he was buying from a drug dealer. That's okay. There's my post-it note on what happened.
Did you see the anonymous drug dealer picture?
Yeah.
He looks like the guy, the real life Kramer.
Yeah, the comic.
He's wearing a ball cap. He's got the same hair, and they fuzz him up, and he's holding up the drugs that he sold him 40,000 every 6 months or whatever. And I was like going, that's hysterical. And the best was the article goes, Prince was having financial problems. They said he's worth $300 million is what he reported, but they believe he was down to $150 million. I go, really? He's having financial problems with 150? I think we're fucked. I'm not doing as well.
Yeah.
Man, I guess I'm doing a lot worse than I thought. You ever find yourself
on the rocks at 150 million?
John, how many million do you have? Come on.
I actually have I don't even have close to $1 million.
Yeah.
My bank account is in the 3 digits right now.
Are you kidding? Do we have to worry about you? Do we have to put you on suicide watch? You don't have 150 million?
Well,
that's the barometer.
I'm trying to cut back on the Percocets.
First of all,
I'm only ODing on Percocets once a week instead of every night now, so I should be fine.
I mean, if he went to a doctor, he could probably get Percocets, right? That's an obtainable drug. And then there'd be no one could talk to him afterwards because of patient-client confidentiality. This drug dealer, first thing he did was fucking...
Ggreg,
go ahead.
But Ggreg, he could go to a doctor and get the Percocets, but then the doctor would be like, so now how about you give me a guitar lesson now that I've hooked you up with all these Percocets?
Or some concert tickets.
And that's just, we'd all rather just pay $150 million to a drug dealer.
I guess. I don't know. I mean,
no, but think about it. It's hard enough for a junkie to find drugs, but when you have a private jet that can fly to different cities before the prescription goes through, I bet it's a lot easier.
Way easier. Yeah. You've taken out a lot of the middlemen in trying to procure drugs. Like
he was probably, if you plotted his last tour, is probably all the Walgreens. you play our town? How many Walgreens you got?
We're going to take a break from this very important podcast because I want to tell you guys something that's changed my life. It is the Boilermaker kit at DougStanhope.com. Before I found out about this great product, I was making Boilermakers all wrong. I was pouring the beer in my mouth, and then I had a handful of whiskey, and I was trying to splash that in my mouth. It was a mess. I'm half blind in one eye. But now, thanks to the Doug Stanhope Boilermaker kit, I'm drinking like a pro. Get your own, DougStanhope.com. Now back to the podcast.
So I don't know if you guys got this up in Anchorage. If you've seen, there's two things that are kind of taking the small business owner restaurateur arena by storm. One of them is these poke bowls. You familiar with it's usually an appetizer in like Hawaiian culture. It's cubed raw fish with some sesame oil, some kukui nut, and some scallions, and a couple other spices in there. And it has an oily texture, but it's sesame oil, so it's rather flavorful. And they're creating little like shops that sell that's their main entree. And it's like kind of a salad bar thing, but you add things to it. Do you guys have that up there yet?
We do. We have a couple of places that have poke bowls. I don't think we have like a restaurant devoted to the poke.
Yeah, this is all they sell. This is it. That the whole restaurant is designed around getting you in and through the queue line and then to the tables. And it just on poke. You can't order, hey, do you have chicken tenders for the kids because they're here? No, they're eating poke.
New Sagaya, they've had it for a long time, and I just Googled it, and I thought there was a place called Aloha Stop, but I think they just sell swim trunks, which is a weird thing to sell in Alaska. But
especially if you go in there for poke.
Yeah.
And do they ever?
Oh no, you can also get poke. Yeah, no, you can get So you go get your board shorts, and then you get your poke.
One pocket full at a time.
Kimchi style.
So it's pokey and pants.
Pokey pants.
Pokey and short pants.
Come to pokey pants.
Well, it's delicious, guys, and I haven't seen anything here in Arizona, but they're in downtown Fullerton, which is not. It's a small little downtown area business district. There are 3 shops, and I just thought what a bummer for that first person who filed that business license and thought they were going to just take the fucking street by storm. You could.
No, isn't that typical though in America now? Yeah. This is my idea. And they go, okay, we'll open next door.
3 you could order a poke bowl at 1 and eat it and you wouldn't be finished by the time you got to the second one. That's how close they are.
Do you guys, Ggreg, do you remember Steve's Sports Bar here in Anchorage?
No.
It's over on Fireweed. I think they've been trying to sell it since they opened like 10 years ago.
The 2-story place.
And I think he finally sold it. I drove by the other day, and I swear to God, there are 2 signs on either side of the building. The first one is for a pho restaurant. The second one is for a different pho restaurant.
It's 2 stories, dude. Come on. Think out of the box, John. What better way to compete?
I feel like he rented it. He rented it to 2 restaurants that serve the same thing, and they both moved in and put their signs up, and they're like, "Oh fuck,
yeah.
What?"
And he's like, "Hey, fuck you, man! That's what, 6 months advance rent."
I would spell pho with an F if I were them, just to be different.
Yeah.
Pho you.
Would it be weird though if you need the ingredients? Hey, go next door and see if they got some more MSG.
That's your hangover cure, John, right? The pho?
Oh yeah, I eat pho all the time because my body can't handle alcohol even though I love it.
It is weird about
so Steve's Sports Bar's gone.
Oh, boo-hoo. Had you ever gone in there, Becker?
Yeah, no, we went in there a few times. It was a weird deal. There was a whole background story to it. But the thing is he kept it open. But he kept thinking he was going to sell us a bar with no parking. And, just never caught on. So he finally did that. But that's funny because now it's a hangover cure without a bar.
Yeah. It's really weird. Like Anchorage is that thing. Like you guys you're now coming out of, you're on the other end of going over the hump of like quirky, odd characters who started businesses in the 60s and the 70s and could just hang on because they just made enough to get by. But now Anchorage is big enough that property values are going up and taxes and business life and everything to where those quirky, odd characters are just getting squeezed out for good or bad. I don't know. I'm not here to.
No, for bad. I mean, the character is going and they're bringing in franchises like crazy. We're changing laws for franchises to come in. I go, really? Is that your plan there? Fucking everybody's leaving state. That's a Republican. Good for you.
Yeah.
Thanks for fucking the state up and then leaving.
It is too bad because I remember when I used to play down in Kenai and Soldotna, back in the early 90s, there were some fucking places that there's no, it was the reason you decided, I'm going to write home and tell someone about this. And I mean, I used to write a lot. I mean, I found a lot of letters when my mom passed away. I was just recently going through a bunch of her stuff and I found some of the letters I wrote and some of them were about like places in Kenai and Soldotna that had like a total history from back in the 40s and the 50s, and that owner was still hanging on. There's like, another one was that on right before Girdwood, that Diamond Jim's, that liquor package store right next to Brown Bear.
Yep.
That place is amazing. You go in there and the lady with the big beehive, I don't know if she still owns it, but she has pictures of her in the 60s with this huge, tall Marge Simpson beehive. And then you go around the corner and there she is with that same fucking weird, ratty beehive behind the cash register and a big, thick piece of glass. And it's like, I love that, you know, and then she's still selling postcards that were taken in the 60s. Yeah, I love that place.
Right.
Yeah.
But I think you're right.
And the thing is,
we just did a
Greg,
video.
You'll appreciate.
Go ahead, Becker, go.
They went round and round with that place because they said, "Oh, you don't meet our sign ordinance," so they changed the sign ordinance. They wanted to take down the gym sign, you know, the classic sign.
It looks like it should be on the Vegas Strip. It's a fantastic fucking old sign.
And they go, "No, you have to take it down. You have to take it down." And they're like, "Are you kidding me? It's like a landmark."
Yeah.
This state has just become
But
crazy.
it's like the Vegas.
Well, no,
It's like the Vegas Strip if like the casino was built by a guy in the woods.
Yeah.
It's pretty.
no,
it's
I mean
pretty
that's
awesome.
it. It's part of the history of Alaska. And they're like, "Well, you know, it's an eyesore. It's an eyesore. It's a landmark. You fucking idiot."
Hey, Becker, that's what you need to do. Go online and look up landmark designation because it was built so long ago that you might be able to get it, at least to fuck with them, block it, you know, from being, I don't know if they've already made the city council has already passed it, but.
No, they kept the sign. I think they did finally go, "We're being a little ridiculous here."
That sign is great. I'll look for a picture.
Yeah,
I'll put
and
it
it
in
is.
the
And
show
it's-
notes. Yeah.
It's really cool. Yeah.
John, what were you going to
And
say?
the brown bear is fucking fantastic.
Oh, sorry. John, what were you going to say? You were doing a movie or something? A piece?
Well, I was gonna say a couple weeks ago we were shooting a video at the Knickknack Mud Shack, which is a weird business because it's just like a bunch of pottery that you can buy and paint. And so we asked the guy, and it's been there since like the early 70s, and it's in the middle of nowhere, and it's huge. And we just asked him like, "So why did you start this business?" He's like, "I had a lot of kids. They were bored, so I started this business for them to run, and we've been open for 45 years."
Yeah.
Like, so Alaska's just like full of crazy people like that just like opened a business on a whim. And then we're like, well, I guess that's a thing I'll do forever.
Let me correct you, John. Alaska used to be full of people like that. Like Becker said, they're leaving and they're either leaving because they're dying. I mean, some of these people are getting old anyway and they're going to Florida or wherever the fuck people go. Or they're just finding it too difficult to run a business. And that was, what was that? That was on Northern Lights. She got busted for alcohol violation. And the
Hog Brothers.
Hog Brothers, which was fantastic. It was right next to Coots. It was a little joint. We'd stumble over there, still drunk from after playing at Coots. We'd go have a house party, and we'd head on over there. And it was one of those fucking quirky, fun things. And she ends up getting busted because someone served underage. It was the first place you could buy a beer. I remember we used to go to do K Whale's morning show, and then with the comics. And then I would drive them back. And I remember one comic driving back to the band house and they're like, I go, "Hey, do you want to go get breakfast?" And they're like, "Yeah." And I go, "What do you want?" Is there anywhere serving beer? And that's where you would go. You would go to the Hog Brothers because they started serving beer at 6 a.m. It's fucking awesome. But Becker, what happened with her? She went before the city council or before the ABC board because of the alcohol violation?
She was 40 years in the business, or like that. And they said, well, what happened was they were really busy. A server took the order, told her she was one of the owners. She had beers on a tray, and she set them on a table with like 10 people. And they go, you just served a minor. And she goes, who? They go, the girl over there. Well, families sit down.
Yeah.
But the waitress took the order from the girl, and when the owner set it down, they cited her and go, we're going to close you for 90 days, fine you, some ungodly. She goes, I've only been in business 30 days, never been, or whatever years. I've never been cited.
Yeah.
And this is your reaction.
Well, she went before the ABC board and said, you know what? All right. Okay. This happened. This happened in my establishment. I'll pay the fine. I'll retrain, my staff on what the rules are and stuff. But, let's just get through this. I don't want to pay all these lawyers. I just want to be done with it. And they said, so you're admitting guilt? And she says, yes. She goes, all right, you're closed for 2 weeks. And she goes, I can't be closed for 2 weeks. I mean, no, most businesses can't be closed for 2 weeks with no money coming in. And so she decided, I'm leaving. Done. Put the place up for business.
Yeah.
And, or put place up for sale and left town. That's it. It's fucked up.
No, and that's it. But that's what they've done to the city is they're going, oh no. And they were just so ridiculous. But meanwhile, if, TGF Fridays does it, I'm sure they fucking work with it because they run all the ads in the papers. So we can't possibly cite them.
Mm-hmm.
That is one way to do it monetarily.
I mean, it is. It's one of those things where I just go, it's a death rattle.
Sounds like they wanted her out.
Sounds like, someone was eyeing that property.
Well, to be honest, it got bought.
And now it's
the Spinard
a very
Roadhouse.
successful restaurant there.
Yeah.
By a bunch of people in town that all owned restaurants. They went, swooped in, grabbed it, no problems. I don't think they go in there ever to look at it.
Owned by people, including the current mayor.
No fucking way. Are you serious?
How weird is that?
Yeah. Berkowitz is he's part of the group that owns Snow City and Roadhouse. I don't know how much he owns or anything. Yeah. And I think he's a super nice guy. So I'm not trying to throw him.
He's a great guy.
Throw him to the wolves.
He's a great guy who owns a new successful business.
It is weird, but
right.
But I mean, wouldn't you rather have a mayor? I mean, all collusion and backdoor deals aside, wouldn't you have a mayor that invests in his own city rather than a mayor who is
like Sullivan when he owned Sullivan. And then he shut the smoking ban through because you couldn't smoke in restaurants. So he goes, why are bars allowed to?
Yeah.
And I went, well, I don't know. I guess that would make your restaurant more even.
Yeah, it's very, I don't know. It's a fucking mess. I mean, we've got our own problems out here with Kenny and Derek for mayor in Bisbee
they're going to clean the place up, right?
Well, we're trying to figure out their platform. And, we don't want them involved. So we have to do all the work. And it's like, this is turning into a lot more work, man. So yeah, we're working on that today, but it's one of those things. It's like, well, what do we do? Do we feather our own nest and, pave the street that Doug lives on? Or, what do you do? I mean, obviously we don't really have any actual personal interest, but we'd love to see a zip line over the pit. We'd love to see the baseball team back in town. I guess that's going to happen anyway, by the way, Becker. In July, there'll be Sunday games.
Oh, yeah.
Sunday games from,
woohoo!
The Tucson. I don't know their name. I just found out about it today, but the Tucson team is from that league, the Pecos League, is going to play all of their scheduled Sunday games in Bisbee.
Ooh. Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah. But I don't know what we're going to talk about tonight, but we're trying to figure out what should be the platforms or what should be the planks in the platform for each of their runs for mayor. And like I said, you don't want it to be all self-serving.
No, and you want to remember, Ggreg, the trick to politics is you promise everybody around you everything, and then you do it just in your neighborhood.
Is that the trick?
Like, we're going to put the halfway house in Bisbee, but Warren, we're going to keep drug-free.
Yeah, Warren, where we live. Yeah, actually, Doug was just looking at an RV down the street today because we're gearing up for something that he thinks we need an RV, and we found it's a fucking phenomenal deal. And I'm like, wait a minute, what about on-street RV parking? Should that be one of the planks in the platform? I don't know what the deal is out here, you know? In some cities, you can't do that.
That's going to get the retired vote.
Yes, absolutely. See, John, now you're thinking. You're thinking like a guy on the campaign committee.
Yeah.
I've
about
watched
only
a lot
with
of House
the
of Cards.
Only with the permit from the mayor.
a special category.
We could talk about it at $1,000 plate dinner.
How many people are running for mayor?
I think 7.
Oh, man.
And Kenny actually has 3 pages of signatures, and Derek still has 3 signatures.
Wait, there's 7 people running. You guys are back in Sleepy and Dopey?
Yeah.
Who are the other ones?
One is, I believe, David Smith, and I don't know the other ones. But, I mean, it's a weird thing, because we're in a small town where things, you know, you can actually affect local politics. But at the same time, we have people that are on the council that we know that come over here and hang out, and we know that it's a bunch of bullshit too. So who the fuck cares, you know?
Have you put up the signs yet? David Smith, if that's his real name.
He's actually the one that we would probably be backing, because he's actually, him and Doug have kind of worked out their disagreements, and it's one of those things where we don't want to fuck things up, but we still want to have fun. we're not dead inside. We still have a pulse. We got to fuck around. But yeah, we'll see. Mm-hmm. We've got stuff. We got tomorrow night. Cool. Tomorrow, actually today, when this goes out, the Bisbee should be #1 historic small town as voted on USA Today.
Yeah, I saw they made you wait to see the final. I pulled it up the other night, and they go 1 day and 42 minutes till you know. And I go, wait, it was open for a minute, and now all of a sudden I have to wait. I don't know how long that poll boy's gonna wait.
Let's be adults here. We know what this is all about. Come on, this is about eyeballs on a website. And what they're gonna do is they're gonna now that we've stopped that whole time, people were like all on Doug and my Twitter feed, they were just hammering it like, hey, when can we vote again? When can we vote again? And we're totally abiding by what we felt were the rules, which is don't use any kind of bot or anything to automatically vote, which we didn't. We were vocal about, don't do this. We want to win this, naturally through podcasting and Twitter feeds. But we will see what happens. But this is all basically eyeballs on a website. That's all they want. Revisiting the site, more advertising revenue because you get more traffic on those sites. So now there's going to be another huge push tomorrow with everyone going to that site to see if Bisbee actually won.
Right, but you know,
fair?
if you do this correctly,
shouldn't they be able to get that advertising money for all the hard work they did of finding stock photos of like 10 small towns?
The worst, by the way, the worst stock photo of Bisbee. There, if you just do a Bisbee, Arizona Google search on images, you will find just the pictures that Gretchen has, very rich looking, very picturesque photos of the downtown area where they shot it in like the worst angle that you could get of a very quaint, very picturesque town in this little gulch, you know. I mean, gulch doesn't sound right, but you know what I mean.
I randomly took one of Gretchen's photos, and any one of them would have been better.
Yeah. So they didn't.
Well,
I agree with you. They didn't do due diligence. Well, I mean, what are they? They're this is a company. I guarantee you. I don't know this for sure, but I guarantee you that this is a company that does the 10 best, has nothing to do with USA Today, other than USA Today pays them to assemble these kind of trendy polls and then gives the results.
Like, hey, USA Today, do you guys want to get 3 million views from dumb people who just want to see their town win something?
Yes.
We do that.
Yes.
How
do I sign up?
That's our business.
What I had one I caught dead to rights because Anchorage gets thrown in a lot of these.
Yeah.
And what happened with one of them was it said we were the most violent city anywhere when we were having our low crime spree, which has almost subsided. And they're stealing cars, so I assume the murders are all leaving town. But the number 2 was best small town to live in and work and happiness. And like we won hands down. We beat everybody. And I went, we can't be the most
per capita because
happiest.
Everyone's getting murdered.
Yeah.
It's per capita because everyone gets murdered.
It's not as crowded. Not as crowded. But But the thing was, is so I looked it up, and what it was is they were both travel sites, and one of them worked with people. They didn't go to Anchorage. So the most violent city that we got put on the list was by a travel group that didn't have traveled to Anchorage.
Sure.
So I go, well, of course you don't want us to win.
Well, the numbers don't lie,
rigged.
Becker. These streets are rough. These streets are rough.
No, they are
Sometimes
rough
when I'm
right
out-
now.
sometimes
And they're
when I'm
going to
out
get much
walking-
better without
I'm
road.
walking around my neighborhood. I'm walking around my neighborhood holding my chihuahua, cradling her like a baby. Sometimes I don't feel safe. Sometimes I feel like everyone's watching me and want to do me harm.
I had a wonderful guy that works for a contractor here that works with the city, and he does electrical stuff. And he told me, based on his 17 years of working, he said, I actually saw the bid and the contract with the city. And he said, we went in and did 3 hours of work. And then we were done. Of course, they get paid for that and everything, and the equipment they used and everything. And he said it was roughly around $3,000 is what they're billing for. You know what the contract they get paid from the city for? $40,000.
Yeah.
And he said, and you wonder why we're broke. And he goes, it's crazy. But at the same time, the guy's, a tradesman and in his field. But he goes, I would love to like put that in the paper and go, you wonder why we're broke. $40,000 for $3,000 worth of work.
Well, think of it this way, though. This is why people risk the penalty of going to prison, is because these lucrative, no compete, jobs in the city. I mean, they're getting multiple jobs like that. 40,000 is probably a drop in the bucket, Becker, compared to what some of these things,
I know.
come in at. I mean, this is why these guys end up, going to jail, is because it's so lucrative for so long. And then all of a sudden someone talks or someone looks at the books, correctly.
I mean, yeah.
But yeah, it was.
I don't know. It's probably a tough thing to say no to. But then along that, like, it's not just cities. The FBI paid over $1 million for some hackers, one hacker, to hack into the San Bernardino iPhone, and like reports said it took like 3 hours.
Yeah, but no one else could do it. That's different.
I don't know if that's true.
I
don't know if that's true.
That was a skull. That was a skill that this guy had that even the FBI didn't have. What the fuck is going on at the FBI? Who are they not hiring?
No, Greg, they had the skill.
Okay.
They had the skill. They just wanted Apple to do it for them so that they could always go to Apple to crack all of the phones.
Yeah.
They could have done this at any time. They just made a big deal about how only Apple could do it. And then once Apple said no, they were like, oh, we were kidding. We could find some other guy.
Yeah, on Craigslist. Under gigs.
Under gigs.
Yeah.
Solve
terrorism.
I thought it was, I think what's happened, I figured it out with the whole Apple thing, because they've exposed themselves. Their layoffs are everywhere, and they just aren't reporting it like they would. But the thing is, I think the FBI's now got all guys that are 55 and up that are waiting to retire.
Yeah.
And none of them even know what an iPhone
Yeah.
is. They're like, I don't know what you do. Get a kid. How much does he want? $1 million. Give it to him. I'm not taking a pay cut. There was a case yesterday in Fairbanks where somebody started one of those GoFundMes, and it was for a girl with cancer, and it was about $6,000. And then the news got involved, and they asked, and it turns out the girl didn't have cancer, and the lady who set it up said, well, I didn't know that. So it was kind of one of those ones where you went, wait, when did she get cancer?
But so what happens?
She was at school at the time.
What happens with that? The $6,000 are raised. It goes somewhere, right?
Yeah. But yeah. It was,
no, I'm sure the GoFundMe probably didn't give it to him.
Because enough people call bullshit.
Yeah. So wait, but who started? So wait, did she tell this lady she had cancer?
And then the lady started
there
the
was
GoFundMe?
I mean, it's getting sketchy. The family's now saying, oh, no, we never said she had cancer. We said she was born in July, so she is a cancer. Which is a weird out, but
stands up.
But yeah,
Stands up.
and that's so I don't know. But could you imagine later if this girl gets cancer, nobody will donate money. They'll be like, fuck you.
Yeah, she's kind of paved the way for no more GoFundMes.
I got tickets booked. I'm going to Germany in July.
You are?
I'm doing it. I'm leaving this country.
In July?
in July. I just applied for a passport. I'm 31 years old, and I applied for my first passport.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm a typical American.
You know, that's a gateway drug to go into Costa Rica.
That's what I hear. I hear you get this travel bug. You see one part of the world, and then you think you got to see the rest of it.
Oh, wow. You become enlightened to the plight of your fellow man. Imagine the horror of knowing what it's like in Europe to walk around on safe, clean streets.
Yeah, but I mean, for most of human history, people have stayed in like 5 square miles.
Yeah.
So
no, I get it. So why are you going to Germany?
It's a little terrifying. It's a little terrifying to me. Stephanie's got family there, and so we're going to go see her family. Don't have to pay for a hotel most of the time. She speaks German, so that'll be easy. So
fluently?
And she's fluent German.
Oh.
And according to this app, according to this app that I use on my phone, I'm 24% fluent, so not bad.
John, you should do your living will in German.
Yeah.
All I really know how to say like confidently is ein bitte, is 1 beer please.
Sure.
That's all.
Oh.
I feel like
Learn how to say, get off my car, it's a rental.
You can say Danke or Danke.
Danke.
Which
Yeah, Danke schön.
Well, they shorten it. It's Danke. Bitte. Bitte is a response to Danke. But I spent 3 months in Austria, in Salzburg, and it's fucking. You don't just pick up German like you can Spanish. Even French is a little easier. But you got the end, man. She's got it down.
Yeah.
Except when she's talking about you, you're fine.
I think it'll be fine.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm very excited.
Wouldn't it be great if you could RVBO and stay where Anne Frank stayed?
in the attic?
Yeah, but that's
Actually,
like the
I
trip.
get an Airbnb, a small attic.
Yeah. Well, I mean, kind of.
I am going to look for some.
You guys have the same pause. It's exactly the same.
So for the next couple of weeks, I'm probably only going to be talking about going to Germany. And then for about like 6 months after I go to Germany, I'm only going to talk about going to Europe. So you guys can look forward to that.
How great it was in Europe and how different things are. And like, oh, wow, you use 110 here?
The system is so much better.
I can't plug anything in. I've got all these adapters.
I need you to go to Germany and get me a pair of lederhosen. I want real ones. Like, go to their thrift stores. I don't know what that is.
Like
but
leather
give me
ones?
a real pair of lederhosen. I don't want those fucking costume ones I've been buying.
You want
they
leather.
Fucking are horrible.
You want the fucking leather. Like the worn leather.
Yeah, the leather ones.
Yeah.
A real leather, and I'll get the old inseam thing. I'll give it to you in metric so they don't fuck it up.
Yeah, those are really cool. I remember when I was over there, we would go to it was with the school, so we had to do some fucking bullshit things. But the lederhosen were like really, like, I think they're passed down from generation to generation or something. They're well made over there.
No, that's it. So go to garage sales.
I don't know if there's garage sales.
I can almost guarantee that I'm going to bring you back some made in China lederhosen.
That's where the best are made.
I don't want the knockoffs, John. You need to get into the culture. Get the wife and have her fucking speak German to people.
Oh, you've got that's your in, because you're going to find some people who are nouveau German and we're like, no, we got those up in the attic. We're just get rid of them.
So I should steal Stephanie's family lederhosen.
I didn't say steal.
That have been in the family for years.
I said you find someone who's like, oh yeah, we got those, but no one wears those anymore. No, we have someone who wants to further the German culture. They're part of the they're in a polka band in Anchorage, a famous place called the Birdhouse, and he absolutely would love to have these to further the German culture, to explain, the history behind the lederhosen.
Tell him I want German
Explain
culture
it however
to
you
rise up where it once was.
to be as dominant as it once was.
Well, I mean, explain it however you want, but basically you're asking me to steal some lederhosen, and I'm fine with that.
You hear steal, I say ask.
Tell him we have PayPal.
PayPal sees no borders. Come on, John. I think that's a yes, Becker. I'm hearing a yes from his silence.
I heard it. Yes. I heard it. You're going to go to Germany. If I was going to Baskin Robbins, I get you ice cream.
Yeah.
Get me lederhosen. You got room in your bag for leather jumpsuit?
Yeah. Another one.
All right. Lederhosen. It's on the list.
Yay! All right. Becker's going to finally get authentic Lederhosen.
I've wanted these forever. I've had all these these kids from the military that get stationed over there. And one kid was like, I am so sorry, but it was all just shitty ones in the store. And then finally somebody who lived there for like 5 years, they go, yeah, don't ever buy them in the store. That's for tourists.
Yeah.
It's like a Ulu. Go right to the village to get an Ulu.
Wooden shoes in Holland. They're never the quality of the locals, what they're wearing.
Why would they? The wooden shoes, that's got to be a tourist thing. That could have never been
John, clearly don't show your ass like this when you go over there. The wooden shoe is the most comfortable shoe ever produced. And the reason you don't know about it is Big Shoe. Big Shoe in America keeps you from knowing how comfortable slipping your foot into a nice formed wooden kind of arc with jamming your toe up against that point. Come on, John. You don't know because Nike has spent billions to keep you from knowing the comfort level of a wooden shoe.
You know what? Picture Kobe Bryant scoring 70 points. 70 points.
70.
Shoes. You can't do it because they won't let him.
Yeah.
I want to see that now. Basketball would be
Becker. We're going to hear a way different story when he comes back. When our friend comes back as a world traveler, we're going to hear a whole, we're not even talking about, brined potatoes or the beer, how it's warm over there. Well, I mean, the wooden shoe, the wooden shoe conspiracy is the tip of the iceberg that we're going to get from Mr. John Norris when he comes back.
Is my impression. This is my impression. John trying to sneak up us when we get back up.
Totally.
Hi. How'd you know it was me?
Totally.
I don't know. Wooden shoes, John.
Exactly.
You guys are gonna be so disappointed because I'm gonna come back with nothing but stories about drinking and eating because that's all I do.
Well,
culture is beyond me.
And how you Cyrano de Bergerac, the open mic over in Germany, having your girlfriend tell you all the words.
Or how he tells the joke and she translates it to the crowd. That'd be awesome.
Oh, if you guys
open mic and by
German language,
by proxy. You can do it, John.
And then after the show, they all the bikers come up to try to talk to you, and you have no idea what they're saying, and they're like, "He's much like Prince. He doesn't talk,
except he's breathing."
But he is purple.
R.I.P.
But he was purple at the end. That was what the whole song was about. People, I'm choking. Well, you've listened to another episode of Near the Wild. I'm Matt Becker, sitting on a bus in Anchorage, Alaska.
I'm John Norris, also not really on a bus, but also in Anchorage, Alaska.
And I'm Ggreg Chaille, back in Bisbee, Arizona. Auf Wiedersehen.
Danke.
You've been listening to the Near the Wild podcast with Matt Becker and John Norris, recorded in Anchorage, Alaska on Matt Becker's backyard bus. Engineered by me, Ggreg Chaille.
Now back to the podcast. Damn it. Fuck. Ggreg, fix that. Podcast.